Welcome back. I forgot that my mic sucks on my PC. So, sorry my voice sounds off. We're gonna think about it right now. But, uh, so today we're gonna be playing, or tonight, we'll be playing Errant Kingdom. Um, we're on chapter 1. Didn't finish it, hold on. Anyway, let's begin. I will be reading out loud because I need to practice speaking clearly. Last night might have been the first restful sleep I had in a long while. Face, or maybe it's more appropriate. It was a coma that didn't even stir, not an inch. First announcement of morning drills were called. Had to be rolled out of bed like a dead body, according to my squire. Oh, I have a squire. Poor lad looked mortified. This is my day off, I suppose. Morning drills are mandatory. However, day off or not, the endless cycle of conditioning bodies for battle to protect the golden kingdom. This is unusual and definitely completely standard in my line of work. Considering there have been absolutely no skirmishes in time here, it seems a little excessive. I should also say um, that I would not be doing a full 2 hours. I started to get up early tomorrow. So, I will probably swing for an hour. Maybe tomorrow I'll do more bedtime planning. I say Tuesday, but it's really any day I feel like it. Because it seems easier to schedule. Anyway, the Syrian military is a tight complement, planned and orderly, but in some ways, no one feels oppressive. No one is said to expect to fight and prepare and or perhaps I just don't enjoy training for 2 hours right after waking. As the mercy of my squire Maddox, or Mads, insists, I was at least able to find time for a warm bath, though I'm pretty sure I could hear my body kicking in the warm water as I let these weary bones relax, my mind still resting. All I could think about was how I wanted to know more. More about what's going on, the mysterious assassin that had vanished. Like Eric's mission was so important and just this general feeling, something else in the air. Maybe I'm in over my head, and this tapestry of small mysteries only becoming larger because of my curiosity. I urge my thoughts to cease as I am dressing, and then I hear a light tapping on the door. My liege, come in. Light as ever, Maddox enters. Holds my armor in his hands with a bright mirror-like polish applied. I blink for a long beat as he approaches, and the sunbeams hit the breastplate just right for his glinting, relentless eyes. He pauses, a sheepish, a sheepish smile on his face as he angles it away. My apologies. I like his design. That's what the squires wear. I don't think so. A knight would wear. That's impressive work you've done there, my. Like, that's impressive work you've done there. My enemies would never see me coming if I spent by daylight. Maddox chuckles, shifting the metal in his hand awkwardly. I'll take that as a compliment. One usually becomes skilled in polished armor when you've been in the business of being a squire for a while. Huh? been a squire for some time? Something like that. I'm a bit older than most. State induction and all. Never mind that. He holds out the armor with an offering to change the subject. Shall I? I shook my head and gestured for him to put it down. No patrolling today or any pressing matter, really. But still, my mind wanders. Before I can stop myself, I ask, Let's ask you some questions. That's all right with you? There's uh, a look of confusion and then concern, followed by something that looks like unease. I didn't think he was so easily startled. Not in trouble, I assure you. Oh, sorry. Usually when anyone asks me anything. Sure. Oh, hold on 1 second. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Go back to it. The Knight Commander is the only one who asks questions? Asks. Asks questions. His jaw moves a little like a puppet, and Maddox struggles to find his words. That will link the fear of the gods in him. Let's just sit, shall we? I pull up my desk chair for him to sit, giving him a firm pat, and seat myself on the edge of my bed. He plops down rather stiffly, looking grateful to be grounded. I wonder how much information I can pull from him. He seems just a tad shy, but if implying he's been employed here for some time, I might be able to glean some knowledge from him. This good Cade seems to put its patrons, all willful ignorance and airy behavior, at ease. The courtiers here make it a pastime to gossip, and the shrill titters from the ladies sharing rumors are aplenty. Their lips seem to be as loose as their morals, and, hopefully, Maddox enjoys some harmless eavesdropping. I need to know a little more about the kingdom. I'm a little out of my element, and I want to assist in the investigation. I have done some intel gathering of my own. It has led me down some interesting paths. However, I need more. Maddox lights up at this, looking a little more like the young man he is when he smiles. Oh, that's admirable, my liege. I'll try to assist you in whatever way I can. I sigh, appreciative to know that I have someone's support in this place. But it might be short-lived after my next question. Tell me more about Novus Underbelly. Wait, Novus? Where's Novus? Okay. Novus Underbelly. I know there's an assassin's guild here in its midst. I need to know where. All these S's. There's a pause, and that smile ever so slowly melts away. Much like Birdwood, his head tilts and he holds my gaze with something akin to incredulity. That's quite the intrigue. You want me to find the Assassin's Guild? To which end? To investigate? Won't they just, you know, assassinate you? I mean, okay, fair point, Maddox. Fair point. Now it's my turn with the awkward smile or grimace. I'm just imagining her just looking at his face and it looks like, you know, that emoji, just basically teeth. That's her expression right now. Well, yes, I have considered that. But if it's an organization, I imagine they have in mind to fill their coffers. It's possible they may try to kill me, but a parlay in gold might produce a more favorable read. More information, you may be better off and more safely able to execute an archmage. He has a number of spies under her wings. This elevation is both surprising and not. Lady Olayinka? Olayinka. Lady Olayinka has always produced an aura of being readily capable, as well as resourceful. Having eyes and ears in places she cannot reach doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility. Is that Olayinka? Olayinka Planka? No, it's probably Yinka. I hope it is Yinka. Okay. A sound choice for someone in her position. Lucian comes to mind as another individual that might be in the same business. They seem more concerned with being personally in the know, rather than employing others to do their snooping. That does sound helpful. However, I have no doubt her hands are already tied with learning all that she can, already has. And allergies suck. I do think there's value in finding this place. Threat of death or threat of death or not. Oh my goodness, why are these words so twisted? It would be optimal not to drag Maha into this business, even if we are all steeped in it. I'm not particularly fond of the idea of word going around about a knight consorting with assassins and some hot gossip. Annex continues to press me with stare, and I did the very same back. Oh, it's that meme. Oh, with that dude staring at P. Diddy. This says there. That's funny. Really want to do this for the kingdom? Um, she was pretty earnest, so wait, why is that shield here? What's that mean? Wait, this that mean? Um, I don't. Um, just want to see. No. Tab, escape. Okay, how do you get to the main menu? Um, hmm. Well, I guess I'm gonna do the sword thing. Oh, that's honor. Okay, so what settings? Okay, so that's the honor. Good, cunning, harsh, and flirts. So flirt if you want to romance someone. Probably if you want to romance two of them at once. And then this if you don't want to romance nobody. Okay. Honorable. So she's gonna be mostly honorable and good. These are not really her thing. I do. This might not be my home country, but I do want to see it protected. Countrymen put so much thought into their roots that they remain just that, rooted. I was handpicked to serve Novus, and while I grew up in Vithras, so there is no reason for me to discriminate against the well-being of this land. Well, that I'm at least happy to hear. My shirt on here was amusing. The chuckle. Don't call it heroism just yet. care, but I'd rather not see the world burn through it. Although I do think it to be heroic, at least in my humble. Was he? Did he? I wonder if he did. He used to be Home Dude's night. What was his name? I immediately forgot his name. But the night that was disgraced. Um, I can still call it again. Alex smiles, a small, reassuring thing. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I'm here to support you, my liege. Heroism. So, are you willing to help me? There's a moment where it looks like he might protest, but instead he crosses his arms and looks to his lap as if seeking answer. There's a sigh and he peers up through his red bangs and nods. I gave my warning. I can't stop you. Well, I could try, but I'd rather not. I've only heard a few scatterings of information, usually bloody missive with a serpent stamped upon the parchment, but it's not too soiled. I know not of where they originate. I hear it somewhere around here. A serpent? How appropriate. No suspicious rundown buildings? No holes in walls? Any nonsensical phrases you've heard? He shakes his head with a frown, apology in his eyes. Oh, my liege, I mentioned secret organizations you make up happen. Keeping those things, well, secret. As much as he's right, and I feel ever so slightly foolish for even asking, they do have a known insignia, which now that I think of it seems to ring some bells. Recalling recent events, Olivia confirmed that our nightly visitor was indeed an assassin, that she was very familiar with him. The night was a haze, but I do believe I remember seeing some kind of distinctive tattoo on his arm. An organization like any other must carry its brand, just like the Order of Knights carry their sigil of nobles. The Order of Assassins might brand their people with their calling card. I could ask Livia of him, that is, if I fancied the idea of declaring my extracurricular investigations to my commander directly. If we do that, does that put down the romance path? Because I kind of want to romance her. Which, of course, I don't. Oh, well, okay. But a certain individual does come to mind. The ambassador. They know of him. Well, of an assassin, I mean. Ambassador. You mean Ambassador Berettis? Okay, see this. Is it Berettis or Veritas? I don't know what stress the syllables are. Wait. Which syllable is stress? I don't know. Which had with the little marks so that you know when to stress the syllable. Whatever. Well, I'm going Veritas. The fact that I didn't have to call them by name is telling. It's very likely they know more and are sharing intimate details with him, I assume. He coughs, apologizing for his sudden sore throat. Even that the ambassador makes no secret of their liaisons. I'll go and do some digging. Thank you for all your help, Mads. Bennett stands just as I do, gripping the breastplate a little more insistently this time. You're very welcome, but I must at least try to persuade you that you let me put on your armor. Criminal underground searching was not your itinerary today. The laugh escapes. It certainly wasn't. Don't worry. I'll cover for you if anyone is too nosy in your business. Just be said. I nod a solid, silent promise. And wait as he straps on the armor. 1 minute again. Ugh, deeply congested. That is awful. I like the slight music changes when the scene when it transitions between scenes. I like that. After a brief conversation with some rather uncouth courtiers, the next leg of my travel leads me to the palace gardens. I find it's not often I stop to enjoy its splendors, appearing almost ancient in decor, both wild and refined in its beauty. A crescendo of chirping birds, cicadas relishing in the light of the sun. Vines like creeping fingers winding around the aged columns, and flowers with a faint glowing halo encircling them, adorning the stonework. I then spy the demon ambassador reclining effortlessly at the lip of a delicate marble bench. They bask in the glow of the morning rays, unperturbed by the unsettled white earth the other courtiers heed them. Lucian is as much of a marvel at court as they are to look at, ethereal to the point of making everything else around them appear mundane. I approach them at a steady pace, but as though they are already but as though they already know my approach, look at me and smile. I mean, our demon, however you know. Good morning, fair night. I do want to know if they say fair night, regardless of that. I'm gonna try that when I make a dude. Good morning to you, Ambassador. They wave a finger at me and click their tongue almost fondly. It's weird how people call it clicking the tongue. When growing up, I learned it as sucking your teeth. Very weird. Ah, as I've already told you, your fellow compatriot. Oh wait. Ah, as I have already told your fellow compatriot, you may forego the formalities. Their design really is so. And also, are all demons non-binary? I have probably asked this in another video, but I don't remember. This was so long ago. I hope. Wait. I am not one to relish in titles, nor do I care for self-imposed importance. You understand, I hope. As you wish, yeah. They not once in no, they nod once in approval and lay a hand on the empty seat next to them. Please. It looks pleasant enough, and I nod, obliging to their request. Without clacking of my armor against the surface breaks down some of the serenity. They chuckle, fists at their mouth. Guess it does sound kind of funny hearing a night clunk. Click clack to the bench. Are all Visarian nights so beautiful? Do not take days off? It is my day off, actually. Really? Oh, 30. A look of mock surprise crosses their features. Listen, certain food. I prefer less rigid clothes of my days of leisure. I do hope you don't boil like a crab under there. Wait, what? Is Lucian saying that? Okay, they didn't say that. I'm not wearing this because I enjoy it. Certain activities, I have hinting that I might need it. Oh, yeah, I think it was them earlier saying that, but then they said their name Lucian and you're talking in the third person, which is very weird. Lucian looks intrigued and their brow cocks at me. Though the courtiers seem to avoid them, they still skirt around the area like they're because the courtiers are nosy. Likely intrigued that someone is actively engaged with them. So I wonder now I'm really interested in the lore and why everyone is so apprehensive around demons. Is it the magic? I mean, are demons supposed to be evil? Right. Or are they more like the Fae? We'll see. There were a couple of questions I wanted to ask you about certain individuals, if that's alright with you. That's so. I see. They hum they hum low on their throat and say nothing more, scanning the horizon. I watch them as I look around, not a care in the world, not bothering to answer my question either. The gaze travels, and while they do not directly look at them, I can tell they watch the others that stray near in their peripheral. Thinking it might be better to speak elsewhere, I ask, maybe speak somewhere private? Oh, so those kinds of questions. Of course, let us relocate. Your comfort is paramount. They rise and smile politely. I know a place where you may speak allergies are the worst. Anyway, Lucian gestures for me to follow, and I keep a steady pace at their side. They guide me down lines away from the main portion of the gardens, directly towards yet another dilapidated building. This one looks weather-worn and has been chipped away at by the passage of time. It is yet it's every bit as beautiful as the rest of the gardens. It could very well be a chapel and is haunting a in wait. It could very well be a chapel and it's haunting. What? Oh, okay. It could very well be a chapel and it is haunting. Okay. A chill rolling down my spine as we draw nearer. Lucian approaches the door first and lays a gilded hand upon the cracked wood, gesturing with the other as they urge me to pass through. There's something about the playfulness that lingers at the edges of their poised demeanor that makes me think as obliging, and I enough to decline. I need to remind myself that my confidence is a chance I've taken and why. So I step forward. When I venture through, I fully expect an empty hall, possibly something similar and grown over like the previous, yet another echo of what once was. I feel something wash over me, a warm sensation that almost doesn't totally register or wouldn't think. Familiar pews line the room, and a large oaken table with a map outlined stands pride. Wait, a map outlining the city stands pride of place in the center. Familiar feeling settles on my gut, the one that usually presents my report to my knight commander. I turn around and stare at Lucian. Wish to speak to me about private matters? I can practically feel the mischievous glee in your voice when they speak. Okay, so they match the shield in the back. That's cool. I thought that Lucian was a little audacious. That was a massive understatement. Why here, of all places, in my superior's command room? They staple their fingers together and give a lazy shrug. Oh, they were traumatized. You wish for privacy, and I've led us to the most private place available. I know for a fact that the dearest Livia wouldn't be present, and I know that no one dares to poke around the den of the lioness. At a point, it's simply seemed the most appropriate. My mouth hangs ajar. While there is some logic behind the decision, well, I don't want to ruin this. I don't think they are her type. Personality, I think, will just rub her the wrong way. Let's go with the middle one. We'll see how this works out. Alarm bells ring in my head that this is not a place I should be. At least not without Lyria's permission. Anxiety shivers throughout my body, but Lucian is a perfect image of serenity. He looks totally at ease despite our surroundings, and there's a lingering feeling that I should leave, but their confidence fails me. Something tells me that their idea of fun won't endanger me, and so, against my judgment, I stay. They grin a toothy smile, their arms folded across their chests while they lean against the table. Night Commander is sipping the club and exchanging pleasantries with another individual. Ooh, gossip. She's not much for a conversation, so our time may be short. However, I know when she approaches. No, wait. However, I will know when she approaches. There is some fun in possibly being discovered, is there not? But I do promise it won't come to that. Such a troll. You have my word. I believe them, but I'd rather not be caught, so being prompt for my questioning seems the best course of action. I want to know more about the Assassin's Guild. I know you have liaison with one of them, and I'd like to understand more about their possible involvement. They avert their gaze, tapping a claw finger to their lips once, twice, and then they look at me again. Doing some private doing some private investigations, are we then? I assume it's private anyway, considering you came to me to ask about those lurking shadows. I would ask Livia directly to give me clearance for the investigation, but taking it upon myself to find a nest of assassins might seem like vigilantism? Yes, more or less. Not labeled as something akin to heroism, but Livia would likely see it as idiocy to take such a dangerous task into my own hands. Hell, even I think it is. You're not a red, dear knight. It is with the utmost tact that I will handle your personal exploits. I am not one to judge. I too enjoy a little adventure. We should take some measure of care, though. This will be my only warning. Again, I will remind you that rated is usually rated. There's some real Metal Gear um, flashbacks, but okay. Remind you that rating is not your assassin. He has other games to play. Hitting rulers isn't exactly in his repertoire. And my places their lips, and it looks like they're refraining from rolling their eyes. He will incessantly remind you of his skill and his inability to miss. A bother, but he doesn't mind. An old married couple. The laugh that escapes me is a knee-jerk reaction. I remember that cocky was my first impression. The woman should think he wouldn't. Perhaps he gets a hefty reward for it. You would think a large sum of money was you would think a large sum of money would sway someone that feels for it, but not this one. Platonic affection takes over their gaze and their posture noticeably changes with it. Reading is skilled enough to find work that could amount to this. Oh, ugh, I've tripped over my words. Maybe it was the wine. It was probably the wine. Reading is skilled enough to find work that could amount to the same assumed reward if he wished it. But taking the lives of the leaders of the place he lives is not the kind of chaos he expected. But chaos there is also order in equal measure, and denying the kingdom of his figureheads that represented very much chaos. His was madness. You mean to say he would do that because he cares about the state of the kingdom? Oh, it's not that romantic. More along the lines that he cares about the home he lives in. A burning shack is not preferable to a safe shack. Obviously, a burning homestead is bad, yes. Again, there's a possibility that Lucian is covering for Raven, but by all previous accounts, waiting is not unusual to the palace grounds. Livia even accounted for him. It sounds like he's more comfortable with being a nuisance in high places and has been for a while. That makes their story more believable, I suppose. Well-trained assassin with some morals, hopefully. That bodes well for the rest of his lot. Or does it? That aside, do you think it's possible that he'd answer my questions? Maybe humor them a little? He'll humor you for certain, but how much he'll reveal to you is entirely up to him. I feel like that goes without saying. Getting information out of an assassin seems to be hard. So, if you're patient enough to weather his teasing, I can arrange a meeting, and from there you can ask your questions. I'd greatly appreciate that if you could make it happen. Lucian places a hand over their heart, adorned with gold necklaces that glitter like their skin. Wait, what? Their skin glitters? Okay. I can and I will. I'm sure it will be interesting. Wait, I'm sure it will be an interesting time for you. He is. Wait, he's a complex man, as you will. Ugh, that means he's irritating, isn't he? Their head nods to the door. I don't even look in their eyes. There she is. I can hear the harbinger's footsteps, clear as the rolling of bells. Oh, as the tolling of bells. I signal to leave. Instinctively, my throat clenches, my eyes dart to the nearest exit. And she's really scared of this lady. Lucian chuckles, and I assume I must look like a surprised animal stuck in a predator's pit. I walk forward and lay a reassuring hand upon my shoulder, pressing the other against the wall. That same familiar warm sensation envelops us as they urge us back to it. But I can make portals that how they get would be the realms of whatever. Realm there now. The wall freezes my the wall grazes my back as it gently melts shut, and the hairs on the back of my neck stand to attention and hear the sound of a door creaking open. It's a beautiful scene, as to be expected in the gardens, quiet and devoid of life. The vegetation that inhabits it brings about a different kind of charm. Lucian follows closely behind the door, and the door closes with an echo that reverberates within the empty halls. You're clearly well practiced with that little trick, I'll give you that. Ugh, glad to see my efforts are noticed. The sheer confidence which an excuse is both reassuring and frightening. Have you any other questions for me? Other than how I should approach a nest of assassins with some tact. Code of conduct is not something I'm familiar with. Created at the top of his class, that he is like a speaker for his organization. His demeanor isn't exactly what it seems on the surface, and doesn't encompass the rest of the comrades. Oh, okay, so it is a weirdo. I don't think you will meet them, not this day at least. You'll have something over in a second. Part of me deflates, and the other is relieved. This armor is heavy. I have this chance to feel like I should get off in the like. This armor is heavy, but to know I have this chance feels like shrugging off invisible sandbags. It's one thing to be well versed in combat, more than most, but another to walk into a den of killers without knowing how they would welcome a night at the kingdom. Where should I meet him? Should I find you, or he will find you as is part of his profession? More, more comforting thoughts. Possibly just be a normal meeting. All right then. Thank you for the advice and your time. I think I've learned all I can right now, so I'll be on my way. Happy to be of assistance. Drive carefully, Nightliner. What an exchange. Someday I'll get used to all the odd happenings in my life. Curious, I glanced around the surrounding area. There are no noise. There are no noise. Nosy. Why am I having a hard time with it? There are no nosy courtiers about. That is more than a relief. They do love to probe, or they do love to poke about. Wise enough not to get too close, from what I can tell. The sun is still high in the sky, and I have no idea when I'll get my meeting with the Dasa, or even where. I had a goal in mind with my quarters, be on hold. I have unexpected free time to fill. Lawson thought I'm barely able to register a quick flicker of movement in the corner of my eye. It could just be pressing up the path, tending to the flowers, of course. But the Novian sunshine was bright for me to clearly make out their garb. Positive as what merely as gaudy as other innocents. Too far off to be eavesdropping. And when he moved out of the sunlight, I think I spotted flash of red hair. My thoughts immediately seemed to row. They frequent the palace, so do they like our assassin too? Come to think of it, I don't actually know what Ro does at all. So much time on my hands. So might as well say hello. It doesn't know to be the physical path that will lead me to where they currently are, which means there's a possibility of property damage. But a silent apology to whoever will have to deal with that. I awkwardly shuffle through the plants, but I swear I see them carefully shook aside as I pass. Nature of these gardens. Curious, sir, and curious, sir. As I follow Lady Room, it moves further away, disappearing down a path I haven't seen before. A tight track that snakes around some of the crumbling buildings, descending further down. Is Rose a white rabbit? Am I now Alice? I managed to scrape through the narrow passage, find myself in a square. That wasn't at all an obvious means of getting here. I assume Ro is not, in fact, supposed to be Alice. I stop outside one of the cricket buildings as three excited children scurry towards them. I laughs heartily at their exuberance, and their tiny hands pull out their cloak, pulling them this way and that. Ro produces a perfect bunch of yellow flowers that flourish from under that cloak. Daffodils, I think. They've clearly been hers, and that is plucked, still dangling from the scraggly roots. All the children eagerly cut their hands clearly no strangers to the fake trick. Rel carefully distributes the bloom into the palm. Now I'm interested in the prints here. Very careful to them back, understand? Fronts are being protected by the soil. Children's eyes widen and look to one another, to their hands, and back to the row, all nodding vigorously. You give them a new home, find a place where they can lift to the sky. These little ones love the sun. It makes them positive and giddy. Don't forget to give them water when the dirt is dry. You forget, their hearts will shrivel up and die. This is it, alright? Oh, and talk to them too. They're fantastic listeners. They're love to hear all about your adventures. I know I do. Oh, you're really sweet. Now they give the kids is wide enough to splash those pointy teeth, but the children are unperturbed. Okay, so I'm confused about the phases. Like, they're not like the humans. So are there like a different faction? Or very confused. They rock on their heels, laughing and, laughing and bouncing, mindful of how they hold their new treasure, heeding the fate's warnings. They hear multiple thank yous chorusing over one another. They messily scatter, bumping shoulders while they run off to wherever they came from. I can feel the warmth in Will's gaze as they watch them leave. No, Ro really likes kids. Is he fond of you? The flowers are nice. You come to the garden often. Ro, look. Ro turns to me and flinches, a hand jokingly and dramatically coming up to shield her eyes. Ah, you're bright today. A lovely shining beacon of the night. Saw me, did you? Palace Gardens are home to some of the happiest plants I've seen. It's nice to say hello once in a while. Also, you just said so it's open like sounds awfully a lot like. Did you say pick-up line? A pick-me-up line? My brow my brows climbed to my hairline. Did it? Huh. I certainly wouldn't use it. I certainly wouldn't use such a pick-up line either because it's kind of stupid. Also, Ava is really gravitating toward her Knight Commander and the Mahali. Those are the two that's on the site. Sorry, Ro. Maybe next time. Oh, no, 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 that's not what I meant. But I must say, always. That's the one someone told you? Nothing the matter with it? I was told it would give someone a good chuckle. It didn't make me laugh, but if it didn't mean it like that, maybe that's why. It's a lost cause. Someone has been telling Ro some truly terrible lines, and for their sake, I won't elaborate. It's probably good that they just forget. So, anyway, what brought you to the gardens? Just so you can get the children some flowers? For them and for someone else having a bad day. I always try to bring him something nice when he gets like this. They produce from the cloak yet another bundle of daffodils. They are brighter, their petals bigger. Their heads seem to lean gratefully into Ro's touch as they run their fingers over the stems. Gardens are curious, have you noticed? Something about the place feels different. It's not so strange to get magic involved with caring for them. I can't put my finger on it. Can't quite put my Nowhere else was quite like it does in the palace. Where a place for sure. Magic doesn't come naturally to me as it does Ro, but the gardens don't seem to strike me as unusual. But maybe they're able to sense something I'm not. The only strange thing I've heard about the only strange thing I've heard is about the large spiders that inhabit it. I hope only a rumor. Oh yeah, ooh, large spiders, man. Every fantasy has some kind of large spider. I don't know why. I think spiders adorable, not scary, but if they were humongous, it would be terrible. Never mind me. What about you? More important nightly duties today? Something like that. I'm waiting on someone that I have no idea when or even where that will be. But really, I'm doing nothing. Any of us not used to doing nothing. Waking up so early didn't work out in my favor now that I have nothing on my plate, and grogginess is just a way of life for me. That is such a move. Such a move. Oh, well, I wouldn't say that. Now you can do whatever strikes your fancy. Optimistic, as always. Of course, he's sprightly. Nervous is all hard walls and even harder looks. It's no fun, really. Roll feigns an angry stoic face, switching their teeth together to make their jawline more square, and then pokes out their tongue. I blink once and stutter a laugh. So if you lie, back around and help me cheer up one grumpy baby. Like a child. Rogue gapes like a fish, pausing to process my question, and they erupt into uproarious laughter. They care they're careful to flowers they hold, but they clutch their stomach almost comically. Can't make it up. Oh my goodness, no. Eric, he is the baby I speak of. That's the yes, okay, that's right. That's the commander who is his face. Eric. Um Elsa. Maybe I'm delirious. Eric? A baby? Huh? This real call him baby girl. Oh my goodness, this is stupid. Anyway, you call Eric that? I have a slight inkling that he may not be fond of such a nickname. He adores it, you'll see. Or maybe you can make nice when you're there. I don't know how your meeting went, but I think he could do with more company. He could do with more company. What do you say? A half shrug is not in my agreement. Sure, why not? Ro claps their hands in delight and they display that wide, sparkling smile again. We could make character to romance them, and the one to romance we should. Whatever. Okay. Wonderful. I'm sure that I'm a famous. You might run a lot. You might hunt a lot, but in time you'll get the good grunts. The good grunts, huh? They nod confidently and begin to wander off the cobbled path that leads into the forest and lingers on the outskirts of town. So Eric lives in the forest? Like a hermit? Don't immediately follow. But I do watch them go, and Rose swiftly notices my absence and turns around, wave it to me as to say, come now. I sigh and oblige, catching up with them and matching their long limbs stride. For my sake, I hope Eric is at least awake. Instead of me a night, stirring him from his slumber doesn't paint an attractive picture in my mind. Here we go. This is a good place to stop and say, yeah, that's not overstaying. So, I think this is a pretty question. We have to get up early, as I said earlier at the beginning of the video. So, and thank you anyone who watching Um, I appreciate it. Um, I guess follow me if you want to see me. Do I'm gonna do my random um streams and yeah, thanks for watching.